everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for this week. These are for the week ending 3/21/2015. We've got a lot of excitement. We've got some changes in the planets and the signs. We got all kinds of good stuff coming up this week, so we're going to go ahead and get right to it. And as always, we're going to start with Aries. I want to be the first to say happy birthday to all the Rams as the sun moves into Aries this week at the end of the week on Saturday, celebrating not just your birthdays, but also the first day of spring or the spring equinox, depending on which way you want to celebrate that, which means that winter is over and we can all do the happy dance if we're sick and tired of winter, as a lot of us are. Lots of different things are happening, though, with you guys as the days progress to the sun coming into your sign. Lots of action taking place. Mars and Uranus are still in conjunction this week and will both be trined with Jupiter all the way through till about Thursday, where Mars actually moves out of that aspect and the moon comes in about the same time. But right before he comes into that conjunction there and joins that trine with Jupiter, he also forms a grand fire trine, as Jupiter is also trined with Saturn on Thursday as well. So another grand fire trine. You guys have been getting grand fire trine after another at least once a week for the past 4 weeks. This is a beautiful energy to get stuff done. And Saturn is going retrograde this week, but this actually works in your favor as it clears up some space in your schedule to get some other things done that you've been wanting to get done. So that's definitely good news there. And the sun is about to jump into your career house, allowing you to, or helping you to, I should say, to shine when it comes to your career, while Mars and Venus on its way out are really shining some love and some energy into the house of those that love you. So you've got a lot of support there for your endeavors and what you're going to do. You got the ability to really stand out independently and shine in your career. Yes, that square there with Pluto is still there and it's going to be there, but at the same time, there's so many different things you got going on, so many positive things. Bottom line with the whole thing, though, is you choose your reaction to any situation. If you're having frustrations or you're having some challenges with some people, you choose the reaction. You can get pissed off about it and therefore allow the emotion to determine the reaction, or you can choose not to. And I know that that can be kind of difficult, but really it is easier than we think it is. So you guys have a lot of stuff to do this week, a lot of good things, a lot of positive things, a lot of positive forward movement with you guys this week. So get ready, because it's almost your birthday, and have a great week with that. Taurus, we're going to start out the week with the part of fortune, Sunday through Tuesday, bringing you luck in love. Ooh, how fun is that? And Venus enters your sign this week as well, and there is nothing more beautiful than the energy of a planet moving in to its ruling sign, or in the case with Venus, one of its ruling signs, because it does have two. It does share two. But this is beautiful, and when she comes in immediately aspecting Neptune in a beautiful way, bringing you the support, not just the support that you need in your life, but the support of those that are there to help you achieve your goals and dreams. So you got plans, we got the people are going to be there, and it's absolutely beautiful. So it really is all about feeling the love for you guys. The focus is on those who love you. You've got Venus in there. You got no negative aspects. You've had a few weeks of really difficult internal stuff. All of that stuff is over. Now is the celebration. Now is the gift. Now is what you've earned going through that internal process. The beautiful, absolutely wonderful time of just being able to enjoy being loved and being loved for who you are. And you guys, it's about time. So you guys have a great week with that. Gemini, you may feel like you find yourself in a waiting period this week. One of those instances where you're kind of waiting for information in order to be able to move forward in a particular situation. And that waiting period can be frustrating depending on your patience level. Everybody's is a little different than others. But at the same time, you can use this time constructively and positively by shifting your focus to something different, something other than that situation, another aspect of your life. Because the truth is, life is just as multifaceted with different things as you Geminis are in your thought patterns and the way that you see things in such a beautiful, multifaceted way. So you're not dealing with just one situation in your life. You're dealing with many different situations in your life. So when you're kind of sort of stuck in a waiting period in one situation, it's a great time to take a look at and evaluate what's going on in the other aspects of your life. Take some time to just kind of sort of either spend some time with them or evaluate, take a look at them, and make sure that everything is running, everything in your life is running like the well-oiled machine that it should be. So waiting sucks, yes, it can be very difficult, but at the same time, using that time constructively helps you to maintain more balance in your entire life, and at the same time, it also takes the focus off to the frustration of waiting. So you guys, use that energy wisely and have a great week with that. Cancer. When was the last time you had some time for you? And I'm talking about time for you, doing something that you want to do, something that resonates with your soul, something that fills you with love for you. Because if you hadn't had that time, that's what this week is all about for you guys. It's about making that time. And you Cancers are so nurturing, even male or female. It's all about what you got to do for everybody else. And it's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, you got to spend that energy and that time on you also. So take this time. It's really, really important in order to get a good balance in your life. Take this time. Go and do something that you want to do, something that you've been wanting to do, something maybe even that you've put off doing for a while. Because the truth is, you need some time too, just like everybody else does. And there's no reason to feel guilty about it, because you deserve it. So think about that, look at it that way, and you guys enjoy yourselves, because you do deserve it. And have a great week with that. Leo, Mars and Uranus continue to trine Jupiter in your sign this week. At least Mars does until Friday. But just as he moves out of that aspect, Saturn moves into trine position with Jupiter as well. And as the moon is moving into Aries on Friday, it creates a one-day grand fire trine. And now you fire signs have been having great luck with these trines at least once a week for the last several weeks, and this one is like really good energy for you. No more oppositions, no more negative aspects. We're talking forward movement here from this point forward, and even the retrogrades of Jupiter and Saturn really are in your favor, as it slows the process down so that you're not moving so quickly that you're missing things along the way. So this week is going to be really, really great for you, especially when it comes to energy movement, clearing up your schedule, manifesting what you want, changing the things that you have to do or you've been doing to get by, and actually putting that focus on where you want to go and getting there. You have to be proactive in order to make sure that you get there. And a lot of these obstacles that have been harassing you for the past few months are not going to be popping up quite as often as they were. So that's the real good news here. Jupiter is going to continue to be trined with Saturn and Uranus for the next several weeks or so. May not necessarily be a grand trine, but there is always that possibility that it'll turn into one before we know it. So bottom line here is, guys, things are looking beautiful when it comes to changes in your career. Use what you know. Eliminate the old habits that are not allowing you to move forward, and see where you can go. Believe in yourself and manifest what you want instead of worrying about what you don't want. I know you guys can do it. Slap those crowns on and own it. You guys have a great week with that. Virgo, the dark moon goes retrograde back into your sign this week, all week long, and she's really, really, really talking about or calling for change when it comes to your thought patterns. The biggest negative thought pattern for Virgos is worry. Virgos are generally known as big worrywarts and worrying about everything, whether it's in your control, whether it's not in your control. And that's an extreme case of a Virgo, of course. But generally, the biggest negative mindset pattern for Virgos is usually worry, and that is actually way more dangerous to a situation than we even realize that it is. Worry is kind of a control issue. We'll just call it like it is. And basically what it means is when you have a particular situation that you're worried about, there's definitely some fear there, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be worrying. But the other thing is that it's difficult for you to let go of the control of what's going to happen with the situation and let it be what it is. When you're actually worrying about something happening, let's say you're worrying about a friend in a relationship and it going down the wrong path, the more you worry about it, the more that energy you put into the situation. Thus, you wind up kind of stopping yourself every single time and getting in your own way. Rather than worrying about it, you can do several things. Lots of people give it up to their higher power or the universe, whatever you want to call it, and ask for that help. I always use my spirit guides. They're always there for me. Anytime I need anything, I say, hey, can you help me out with this? And they do it every single time. And of course, they can't help us if we don't ask. So this week is all about identifying where you tend to worry. And there are some situations that are more difficult than others to let that worry go, such as parenting and things like that. But when you worry about a lot of situations, this week being able to identify where you keep worrying consistently helps you to identify that you have this problem and turn it around and change it and not worry about the situation so much, thus producing an outcome that you actually want rather than the outcome that you don't want. So yes, I know, and it's a difficult process. Totally been through it myself, but I know you guys can do it because you guys are Virgos and Virgos are awesome. So you guys have a great week with that. Libra. Most of the time you absolutely love being there for other people, especially those that you love. So much strangers, but especially those that you love. And you really take a lot of pride and joy in being there for others and being able to help people achieve things like that. But at the same time, sometimes it can get really, really overwhelming, especially if you've got so many things coming at you at once and it feels like your plate is not just full, it's over full, and you're going to drop the ball on some things. It is okay to say no every once in a while, rather than just saying, okay, fine, and doing it. And when you get to that point where you get overwhelmed, you really, really, really have to focus on prioritization, prioritizing what needs to happen first and what can be put on the back burner. I love making lists because, sometimes I got so many things. I need to write out a list and actually give myself a visual aid of what I need to do so that I can knock it out. And it makes it easier for me. When it's all stuck in your head like that, it becomes overwhelming and it kind of makes you want to freeze and not do anything. So you can say no from time to time, or you can say, here, let me show you how to do this so that you can do it. I can't do it right now. Whatever it is, you don't have to be the savior of the world. It's not just your job. We all have to save ourselves individually. Also, you may find a little bit of an issue there when you really feel that you're hoping that somebody will see you struggling with all these things and jump in to help. And you know what? It rarely ever happens like that. I'm really sorry to say, but it rarely ever happens like that. You have to be the one that's in control, and you have to be the one that takes care of you first and everybody else and everything else second. You have that power, so own your power, get your stuff done, do a great job with that. Say no when you need to, and have a great week with that. Scorpio, perception is everything when it comes to negative situations, or sometimes feeling like nothing is happening at all in a situation. And when I say perception is everything, what I mean by that is it's all about how you look at the situation. Of course, if you're going to see the situation as negative or difficult or you're never going to get anywhere, of course you're looking at, or the perception of the situation is negative. But how do you really look at a situation like that in a positive way? That kind of sounds redundant and crazy, but there is always a possibility there, and you can always look at any situation in a positive way by understanding and looking for the value and the lesson in the situation. Especially when it comes to situations when you feel like you are waiting and waiting and waiting forever when it comes to something specific. Those waiting periods oftentimes are there for a reason. Maybe you're not ready to get to that point yet. Or perhaps it's the situation isn't perfected for you yet. But also our own perception makes that waiting period a lot longer than it needs to be sometimes. Again, where we get on our own way when it comes to moving forward with some things. So if you're looking at the situation and it is dragging out forever and the end is never going to come, that kind of perception is going to keep dragging it out forever. And it's never going to come. You want to look at the situation as, well, maybe I'm not ready for Mr. Right yet. Or perhaps my house isn't ready for me to move into it, and that's why I haven't bought one yet. Doing that actually puts you in a better mindset. It lifts your spirits, and at the same time, it helps make the wait a lot easier, and in a lot of cases, a lot shorter than it would have been had you stayed in that negative perception or negative mindset. So you can change your mindset at any time. A lot of people say to me, oh, it's easier said than done. Okay, I suppose so. But when you make the choice, it's a lot easier than you think it is. So dare to do that. Dare to see what can happen to that. And you guys have a great week with that. Sagittarius. Saturn goes retrograde this week, literally at the very beginning of the week this week in your sign. And this is going to make that squared position with Neptune and now Mercury a little bit more difficult. Especially when a retrograde Saturn does kind of make you feel in some cases like you're taking on responsibilities or being given responsibilities that aren't exactly yours. And that can be very frustrating. And that squared position there with Neptune and Mercury really messes up communication, especially in a deep level, and can cause a lot of frustration, especially when you feel as if you can't communicate your needs when it comes to the things that you want to do. So you kind of feel stuck with your priorities and the things that you have to do, and you can't move forward with what you want to do. It's a very sticky situation. But there's good news. And the good news is that on Friday, Saturn is going to move into trine position with Jupiter. And what's absolutely beautiful is that the moon is going to be in Aries for that day. And it's going to be a one-day grand fire trine. Now, you fire signs have been hogging the grand trines the last few months. And definitely this last several weeks or so have been at least one grand fire trine a day for the last 4 weeks. Beautiful energy to move forward. So move through those frustrations. Look at the obstacles for what they are and find a way to go around them. That's the biggest thing there. This trine with Jupiter is going to stick for a while actually, and it's actually going to bring you a lot of really good energy, especially when it comes to letting go of some old stuff that really you don't need anymore. If you're going through the same pattern you've been going through over and over and over again, it's time to change it. That's where that goes right there. And at the same time, as at the end of the week, as the sun begins his ascend into Aries, he is going to trine with Saturn in a very positive way. So this particular trine is really going to be very helpful when it comes to this square with Neptune and Mercury, and really help you boost and shine when it comes to your career and those goals and dreams. So that difficulty in communication, hey, sometimes you don't need to communicate your wants to the world. Sometimes maybe you just need to really visualize what you want and communicate it in a different way. Again, there's always a way around everything, and the difference between successful people and non-successful people is what? The successful people never gave up. They always found another way around it. And you guys can definitely do that. So, yes, there's a little bit of a challenge there, but there's so much more awesomeness there to take its place. And it all depends on which one you guys want to use. It's up to you. So you guys make the right choice and have a good week with that. Capricorns, the moon starts off this week in your sign. And it is definitely conjunct with Pluto, so it's definitely a part of that square position between Pluto and Uranus and also Mars for most of the week, at least until the end of the week. This is going to be very, very difficult. You got the moon there, you got Mars there. This is very intense emotion, very intense frustration, especially when it comes to your relationships. And in a lot of cases, this isn't an argument between you and another person. It's like being caught in the middle of two people scrapping. It's really, really annoying, and it's really, really getting in the way of the things that you need to do. At the same time, though, the moon is in a great aspect with the sun, really projecting you forward and giving you the ability to shine and an emotional reason to shine when it comes to your career. And hey, you might even be able to use this situation to better somebody else's life in the process. Use it as an example, use it as whatever you can. Use it as an example of what you don't want to do, which is waste time scrapping over things that aren't important when there are things that are important that need to be done. By the end of the week, Pluto is going to move into this aspect with the sun, and Mars is going to move out of that square with Neptune and Pluto. So that's going to go back to the energy that has been kind of sort of simmering in the background instead of intense and in your face, which is wonderful. And we're still going to continue to get that career boost there when it comes to Pluto's, that aspect there between Pluto and the sun. So you got a little bit of a balance of challenges and really, really great opportunities. Focus on the great opportunities, not so much on the challenges. Let people do what they're going to do. And to be honest with you, sometimes just your ability to be able to focus and move forward in what you need to do is enough of an example to help those people understand that they're not doing themselves a service there. So be the example, get things done, shine, do what you're going to do, be awesome, and have a great week with that. Aquarius, the moon moves into your sign this week, Monday through Wednesday, and Monday and Tuesday, definitely in opposition with Jupiter there, making it seem as if you've got some old issues that you haven't really gotten rid of yet. Don't we all, right? At the same time, though, her aspects with Mars and Uranus while they're in conjunction are brilliant. Lots of energy there with Mars and lots of unique energy there with Uranus. Very independent. And they really are there helping you understand that you can use this issue, maybe this old issue that you need to let go of. Use it, and in the time that you're using it, it may help you let it go. Bottom line is, excuses are excuses are excuses, and we can use anything for an excuse. And the truth is that we were born as Aquarians with brilliant minds in the first place. So what do we have it for? We can literally, you can fix anybody else's problems in their lives, but you can't fix your own. And that's true for everybody, not just Aquarians. But it's time to stand up and take your own advice for once. Find a way around the situation. Figure it out, or find a way around the issue at hand. And if this is a root of something from the past, work through it and let it go, and then move on from it. Complaining about it isn't going to do you any good, so there's no sense in complaining about it. Find a way around the situation. Do what you do best, and grab on to your dreams and what you want to do with both hands. I know you guys can do it. So you guys have a great week with that. And finally, Pisces, happy birthday to all the fishies born this week, the last week of the sun being in Pisces. And the moon is going to join your sign on Wednesday, joining a full conjunction between Neptune and Mercury, and also that difficulty or aspect there with Saturn, making it seem like the things that you have to do are really kind of getting in the way of the things that you want to do. It's those responsibilities always getting in the way of your dreams, unfortunately. But at the same time, and literally at the same time, all of these planets are aspecting in beautiful ways with Venus. And Venus is all about showing you how much love and support you have in order to have a balance for both. This does sound very similar to last week's horoscope, but at the same time, it's different. There's a little bit more of an element of planetary energy there inside of this to really boost and give you a boost and see just how much support you really do have and it helps you to calm down that energy there just a little bit so it's not quite so intense, so that you can really, really see that even though there are obstacles, it is possible to get where it is that you need to go or what you want out of life. So don't discount it. You got to believe in yourself and believe in the support that you have around you, because it is important. And you can have all the support in the world, but if you can't see it, then it isn't there. So focus on it. Take a look at it. Really see the support system that you do have around you. When you do this, it makes you feel stronger, and it makes you feel like you're on top of the world, ready to do or achieve any goal that you've ever wanted in your life. And you guys can. You can do whatever it is that you want. So you guys have a great week with that. Thank you for listening to the horoscopes for the week. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. We are starting up brand new classes in a couple of weeks here, so don't forget to check out our website, fairymothersdream.webs.com. Specifically, check the Development Classes tab and get in touch with us. We're organizing classes as we speak, and hopefully going to be starting in the next couple of weeks or so. And I'm looking forward to some new students, as well as meeting up with some returning students for the upper levels. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and you don't want to miss it out. Get in touch with me if you're interested, and go and take a look at our website to see what kind of classes we are offering. And we just added some new ones. So if you haven't seen them yet, run along over there and check them out. Again, I'm Melissa Bruce. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.